Hey again YouTube, StickEye187 back again with another review. Didn't preview this one, so sorry. Just going to throw it at you. I'm out at the farm, and as promised I'm going to do a few cut tests. I'm going to chop at this Caragana for a little bit with a few of the items. I've got a cold steel Gladius machete, I've got the M48 tomahawk, which I've since sharpened, and I've got what I'm going to review right now, which is the S Wesson Bush Hog. I'm going to try and get this done pretty quick, because I don't know if you guys can tell, but we've got an entire line of thunderheads moving in, and I don't want to get caught out here holding metal. So, S Wesson Bush Hog. I mean, I'm not going to tell you the stats, because truth be told, I'm out on the farm and I don't have them. But I'll put them in the description box below, along with where you can find it. I've had this for about 3 years now. I've put it through its paces, processed some firewood, kindling, stuff like that. It's pretty good. I kind of like it. The couple things I don't like about it: the sheath itself. Because of the design of the Kukri, this little nylon sheath has to be open on the back and is velcroed in place, which is fine. But when it's on your belt, you have two choices. You can either do here and try and do a forward draw, or you can do it here and do a crossbody draw. This I find is more comfortable. It does come with a little, I'm not sure what the hell to call that, a little ring. I have secured it to my leg in the past. It doesn't actually matter. I would rather, with a knife this big, just let it hang loose. It does come with a lanyard hole. I find that since the knife is basically, it's a big knife, not a small machete, I find I don't need that lanyard, but what I did need was, I needed to wrap up the grip, because it is, I think it's a polypropylene injected grip. I don't believe it's full tang. I believe it's mostly full tang. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom. There's no visible evidence of that. But the hockey tape, double wrap hockey tape, gives it a nice grip, so you can actually use it fairly well. It's been sharpened. You can see the wind. Anyways, but I did manage to sharpen it up a little bit more. I'm not going to shave with something like this, but one of the things I noticed is you have to be careful with these, because the heat treating might not be the best. I will see if I can show you. There's a little notch out here. A knot. I hit a knot on a piece of firewood, and I just walked into the Caragana. But, I don't know, let's see. Smaller piece of lumber. Processes it just fine. I mean, it's called the Bush Hog. It's clearing bush. It's originally designed on the Nepalese Kukri, which is a weapon. Stab, take off head. And you can definitely use it as a Kukri. It's missing some of the things a classic Kukri has. Like, I think a classic Kukri has a notch here to catch the blood or to catch a weapon. And it doesn't have the twin daggers that you usually see in a Kukri. And it comes in a nylon sheath instead of a scabbard. So, but yeah, S Wesson Bush Hog, the SWBH. I find it's actually fairly decent. I'm obviously not going to do pineapples and coconuts and stuff like that out here. I'll see if I can do some extra footage and tack it on to the end of this video where I'm, I don't know, going nuts on a pineapple or something like that. Death to the tropical fruit. I think this was originally supposed to be a stainless steel. If it is, it's a low quality stainless steel, because I have noticed rust on the blade. It sat probably about a year before I actually used it, and there was a little bit of rust spotting on here. But I don't really think it's anything to worry about. It's a handy garden tool. I mean, it's kind of like the Gerber Mini Gator, or the Gerber put out a machete thing that has the remix, and their combination Machete and bill hook. I don't know what the hell it is. I'll try and put it in a box somewhere down here with what it's actually called. It's like that, you know, it's good for actually clearing brush. Let's take a bigger stick here. Hopefully I'm still in frame. Alright, well that's, what is that, inch thick? That processed it just fine. I haven't batoned with this. I'm not going to baton with this. Just doesn't seem necessary to actually show you some sort of batoning with it. Black Tacticool coating. I notice it obviously keeps it from rusting on the spots that are covered. Yeah, you're gonna muck up the coating after a while. It doesn't really matter. But let's see. Okay, that same big piece, the 1-inch one, saw how this processed it. So now, let's see how the M48 does. The M48's been sharpened. I used a Fisker's hex sharpening tool on it. I haven't bought a work sharp. I haven't brought myself to spend 80 bucks on one, so yeah, I just put a decent edge on this. So let's see what we got. And yes, I'm worried about the spike coming back at me. So that's something to be aware of when you're using this thing. I don't have a cutting stand nearby, and really I'm just trying to get rid of the Caraganis. And I'm sure someone out there is going to say something about my technique. I'm not doing anything about technique right now. I'm just trying to test this thing out. Well, I'm getting through it. But obviously, I mean, this would work better actually on a tree. So we'll see about some videos for that. It's not very sharp. This actually weighs about the same. Stay. Buried it in the ground. They weigh about the same. The Bush Hog and the M48. It's about 2 pounds. This is all head. This is mostly head. I mean, it's got the beautiful sweet of the blade right here. Yeah, I just realized how fun this is. Gotta look. But I find this is a lot better for bush. This is a weapon. This is a weapon. They both work really well as weapons. They both are great for, you know, chopping, slicing, stabbing, spiking. But I don't know. I think the Bush Hog wins this one. How does it stack up against the Cold Steel Gladius machete? I'll hack it. Another piece of Caragana there, and see about processing. And in case you're wondering, yeah, I'm sticking it in the ground every time. Gladius machete. Well, I hacked at it with that M48. Might as well hack at it with this. Really biting into it. I mean, like I said before, when you're hacking, you're worried about the back end on this thing because it's a double-edged weapon. And it doesn't have a choil, so it's not like I can really do fine work with it. Ugh. Trust me to grab a really long piece. Screw that, let's have some fun. Nice thick piece of Caragana here. a couple of good whacks, and the Karagan is dead. It's big, it's kind of unwieldy, it's really fun. Yeah, I'm not looking, I'm doing stupid shit. Don't do what I just did. Gladius is fun, but I'm a little worried when I'm processing stuff on that back edge. I'm not as worried. Something this small. I mean, it's really light, really choppy. If you can find one of these for about $30 or $40, they're worth the money. But if you're looking to spend $50 or $60, I wouldn't get something like this. You know, Cold Steel puts out a Kukri. You can get the I think it's CRKT Chance in Hell, big one for like $70 something. You can get some really good knives for $50 or $60 that are better than, you know, getting a Kukri. Better, more useful. You can get a few different things out of it. So yeah, this has been a bit of a different review for you guys, but I hope you still liked it. My job by the end of today to get rid of all this Karaganus, so I got some work to do. Anyways, Smith & Wesson, Search and Rescue, Bush Hog. I like it. I'd say get it. Like I said, $30, $40 maximum. You know, just keep in mind you've got a couple of different edges to work with, so it's really nice. Does good slicing, chops at trees. If you want something you can use around the house and you don't have to use like the Gator Machete or anything like that, go for it. So, well, that's been my review. Thanks again for listening to me, guys. Try not to screw this up so I can do everything in one take. Karaganas are probably trying to kill me slowly. But yeah, I'm going to get back to chopping this down, and I've got another review I'm going to try and film for you guys. But yeah, Smith & Wesson Bush Hog, feel free to get it. Until next time, I'm Stick Guy 187. Stay sharp. Hey guys, I'm tacking this onto my Smith & Wesson Bush Hog video. I realized I used this thing for about 4 hours after I shot that video. The rain held off long enough for me to hack at that Karagana, and then I finished it off the next day. And I realized actually it's a little bit better than I said in that video. I said, you know, $30, $40 max. Probably like $50 would be the best thing for this. But I thought I'd share what I had to do with it. After 4 hours hacking with this thing, my hand was killing me, especially back here. Now, what I had originally done was I wrapped it in the grip tape, the hockey tape, right? So I wanted a little more shock absorbency. I went out and I got some more Wilson wrap, just the advanced grip stuff rather than the super cushy stuff. And I've doubled it up on here. It's actually one piece that fit the whole thing, secured it at the top with a little bit of hockey tape. And yes, I know, I said, it doesn't need a lanyard. 4 hours of hacking with this thing, I actually almost dropped it on my foot. So I've done a shock cord lanyard so that if I need to, I can have it set up. And, oh God! Yeah. But yeah, no, I was hacking at Karaganas for quite a while, and some of the Karaganas were actually growing up through the old chicken fence. And so this was actually going through chicken wire with single chops. Now, yes, I damaged my blade with the chicken wire. And there's little nicks in here. But this thing actually held up a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to. So I thought I should let you guys know that. It is surprisingly good for that stuff. I tried getting the rest of that Karaganas with everything from the Bowie Bushman, which there was a little bit of blade damage on it. I had to fix it up afterwards. The M48, which was just kind of awkward in that situation, and then even more awkward was the Gladius Machete. So this was the right size to go through the Karaganas. It was the right size to get through everything else. For those of you guys who don't know what a Karagana is, it's kind of like a dogwood. Settlers used to plant them because they make a great windbreak. They grow like a weed. They're very, very springy, and they have an interesting heartwood that's actually surprisingly strong. So they're if I can go out to the farm and test more things on the Caraganas, they're actually pretty good because they will show you whether or not your blade will hold up. There was a little bit of curl over on the Bowie Bushman after I was hacking on that one Caragana, and then after doing a few minutes worth of work on it afterwards. This one, the only damage was from the chicken wire. So we sharpened it up again, and yeah, you can see the coconut, or the coconut. Yes, this is a coconut, and the brown thing is the pineapple. You can see the pineapple in front of me, and I'm going to let you know this is the same one that I used for the Shanghai Shadow. So, you know, whoosh. Oh my god, it's amazing! No. I just want to see actually how this will hold up against a rough human analog. And so that doesn't just fall all over the place. And so I can have pineapple later. Let's see how this does. Now, if I remember correctly, Gurkhas used to stab someone in the belly and then take off their head with this thing. That was, I think, a favored tactic, but kind of hard to do that with the plywood in the way, and I don't want to hack straight down on it because I've attached the plywood to my 4x4 with screws, and we've already seen steel will damage this. So I'm just going to scythe through this, hopefully. Hopefully I don't screw it up too much. Alright, that was that was actually really cool. Popped it right up. Yay, pineapple. I should grill this on the barbecue. But yeah, I figured give you a little bit more with this thing. I'm not going to go nuts on the pineapple. I think I am going to make little pineapple steaks and just grill it on the barbecue. That would go nice with pork chops or something. Smith & Wesson Bush Hog, really, it did actually impress me. 4 hours worth of work, other than, well, now I've got the shock cord mark on here. Other than my hand hurting, it's just fine after this Wilson wrap. This thing's actually pretty good. Make yourself a sheath, or find some way to make that sheath slightly better, and you should be fine. Put a ring through it, attach the ring to your belt. It'll give you a little more flexibility on where the sheath will sit, how comfortable it is. So yeah, that's about it. I said this at the end of the last video, but again, I'm Stick Guy 187. Until next time, stay sharp.